Bell hands the ball on off. Pearson looking for a spot. He tries for three, and it's no good. Rebound picked up by the Pacers, but not before a foul will be called on USC Aiken. Looks like Tyler Johnson will get called for the foul. And Jalen Knight will come onto the court, but we're going to get a timeout called here. It's a full timeout. It is 51-42. Lander leading the host USC Aiken here at USC Aiken's home opener for the 2020-2021 season. And we return to action. 13:53 to go in regulation. Lander leading 51-42 as they have held the Pacers to only 2 points here in this second half. Lander will start off with the ball outside the break, looking to add to their lead. USC Aiken also with 6 fouls already here in the half. Playing a little more flustered, a little more aggressive, trying to make up for their lack of scoring. No call here, a little pushing and shoving, but the shot goes nowhere. And it looks like we're going to have a foul called on the Pacers, as well as they tried to come back the other way. Nope, not a foul on the Pacers. I stand corrected, it's Pacer ball. Now bringing it on up is Jalen Knight. Knight hands it on off for Johnson. Johnson gets it to Bell. Back on over for Bell as he tried to pass it on off. Back over to Johnson. Johnson charges in towards the basket, kicks it back on out. Three-point try is good by Quincy Canty. Pacers needed that to try to get back on track. Lander back on into the paint. Brought back on out by Armstrong. He gets it poked away, but it's picked on up by his own team. Berrien moving in towards the basket, walks with it and puts it up and in for 2. Johnson with the ball now. Just gives it to Bell, looking like he's going to hand it right back. Well, he'll give it on over to Black. Black with a shot. Or sorry, not Black. Horn with a shot. Rebound, tipped around, and out of bounds. Trying to save it was Canty, but he just couldn't get it in time. Now Lander will bring it up slowly. Charging on in, and now backing off, getting a pass off. Moore kicks it out to the outside. Pass almost broken up. Augustave able to hold it, though. Berrien looking for an open lane now. He passes it off. Shot blocked by Bell, and going to be a ball for the Pacers. Not sure why it's Pacer ball, but it is Pacer ball. Canty gets it to Bell. Bell with a bit of a hard pass, but it's corralled by Knight, who moves in towards the basket, puts a shot up. It bounces down and in for 2. This is chipping away at the Lander lead now. Quick pass into the paint. Bell putting up a wall, blocked, foul, and that one is going to be on Darius Bell of USC Aiken. Bell's fourth foul of the day, so imagine we'll see a substitute come in for him. But before we see any free throws, we'll have a full media timeout and be back in just a bit. Action resumes with 11:37 to go in the second half. It is 53-47. Lander leading USC Aiken, and a chance to add to it here as DeJuan Moore will step to the line for Lander. First shot is no good. Score stays right where it is. Pearson stepping back on for USC Aiken, taking the spot of Terry Horn. And the second shot is good, 54-47. Sidney Robinson back out for Lander as Pacers bring it up. 7-point lead for the Bearcats. Travian Black in the paint, spins around, puts a shot up, no good, and the rebound picked up by Landers Armstrong. Armstrong with the ball on the pass, passes it right back on out to Robinson, who puts it into the corner. August Dave looking for three, and he put a little too much speed on that as it's no good, but the rebound is picked up by his own team. He'll get another crack at it with 15 seconds on the clock. Layup shot is good as Sebastian Augustave comes from under the basket to put it in for two. Charging in towards the basket, kicks it back on out. Here's a long shot from Johnson. That one goes nowhere except into the hands of Landers Patterson. Patterson will bring it up. Quick pass on off, back out to the outside for Robinson. Robinson puts it under the basket, and another beautiful basket there by Augustave, coming out of nowhere to put it down for two. And that is going to draw another timeout from the Pacer bench as they cannot seem to solve this Lander offense. So another timeout coming up. We'll go ahead and look at some stats instead of going to a break. And looking at the stats, it has been a flip-flop. 58-47 your score. Lander 26 of 46 from the field for a 56.5 percentage from the field. Pacers only 18 of 49, shooting 36.7. Not that great. Got to get those numbers up. The three-point line has still been USC Aiken, though, as Lander has only managed 1 out of 11 tries, and Pacers have managed 6 out of 16 tries. So the difference really is just those regular two-point field goals. Lander making over half of theirs. Pacers just with only 18 made today. Lander coming out from their bench as they're done with their team meeting. Pacers with the ball, moving up. Jalen Knight tells his men where he wants them to go. Quick pass on off to Pearson. Pearson gets it off and gets it right back to himself. Looking for another open man. He finds Knight. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Lander holding him at the three-point arc, not letting him get anywhere near that basket. Long throw out. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Long shot coming up, and it's no good. Avoids the shot clock violation, but Lander picks up the rebound nonetheless. Augustave dancing around out there. Long pass. Pass back on out past the arc. Driving in towards the paint. Long three-point try coming up here for Lander. No good. Rebound battled for. Lander takes it away, however, and he'll get a fresh shot clock. Pass broken up on the defensive side of the ball and into the Lander bench. Good defense there from Pearson. And we'll see DeMontez Oliver come back out for the Pacers. Into the corner with it now. Robinson just passes it on off, back across the court, back on out, but a shot clock violation is the call. Pacer defense able to hold things off and force a turnover. They just need to make up some ground and quick with only 9 minutes to go in the game and down by 11. With the ball, now is Pearson. Looking for a screen. He gets a little bit of one, drives into the paint, under the basket, shot no good. Rebound off the knee, it seems, of Dion Berrien. And it will remain Pacer ball with a fresh shot clock at 20 seconds. Inbounded out to Canty, who handed it off to Oliver, who gives it back to Pearson. Pearson looking for a shot, and he sinks it for two. Augustave looking to get around the defense, just bounces it on in to Berrien. Berrien trying to move past Oliver, and Oliver picks his pocket to bring it back the other way. Pass to Knight. Knight around the defender. Shot goes up, no good. Rebound, battled for. Oliver has it. Foul on the floor, and it's going to be on Landers, number 11, Dion Berrien.
His second, the team's third this half.
Only the third foul for Lander in the half. Good discipline on the Lander side of the ball. Pacers, however, with 7 fouls, although they've calmed down a little bit. Another substitution for Lander. Armstrong coming on for Augustave, who heads back to the bench. Walking around with it, putting a shot up, and bouncing it around is Horn. Lander coming up with the rebound, however, as they send it the other way. Layup shot is good for Sidney Robinson. He got around on Yuri Castillo to put 2 more points up on the board. Speaking of Castillo, he has the ball as he passes it off. Black moving in towards the basket. He puts a layup up, and he puts it in for 2. Berrien with the ball now, as Lander just passes it around, eating up some time on the clock. Not even thinking about the three-point play, just trying to get the ball in towards the paint. That's where the bread and butter has been, but they'll try for 3, and making it is Dion Berrien for 3 more points. Oliver with the ball. He's going to go for 3 now. A little off the mark as that one rolls out, and trying to save it is Castillo, but he'll step out of bounds, and it will be Lander basketball. And before we get the substitutions, we'll have a media timeout. It's 6:55 to go in regulation. Lander leading USC Aiken 63-51. And the timeout comes to a close, and we'll get right back to basketball. Again, Lander leading by 12 here in the second half. Pacers had a 5-point lead after the first half, but it has been all Lander offense today. They have been taking advantage of turnovers and have been stymieing the Pacer offense on the defensive side of the ball. Lander with the ball fresh out of the break. Looking to set something up here. Berrien checked by Oliver. And he'll hand it on off, and pass is broken on up and stolen away by the Pacers, who come back quickly the other way. Holding up is Pearson, who puts on the brakes. Now he'll just let things get set up. Castillo bounces one in to Black, who finds the paint, gets it back out to Oliver, who gives it to Pearson for three. No good. Rebound stolen away by Berrien. Long pass to the other side, and almost with the surefire points is MJ Armstrong. The pass had a little too much heat on it. Goes out of bounds, and Pacers will catch a bit of a break there. Knight will step back onto the court for USC Aiken as Horn heads to the bench. Brought back up the other way. Knight waiting for things to set up. And he'll give it on into Pearson. Pearson gets it to Black. Black looking for a way around, moves into the paint, passes it back on out. Kick out to Castillo, who tries an awkward corner three, rolls around the rim and out. Rebound picked up by Oliver. Pacers with a fresh clock. Knight directing traffic again. Pearson with the ball. Pearson charges in, steps back, puts up a shot off the rim and out of bounds, off the hands of Lander, and it stays USC Aiken ball. Tyler Johnson back onto the court. He will inbound the ball instead of Jalen Knight for USC Aiken. Johnson looking for an open man, can't find one, and broken up though on the inbound attempt on the hands of Armstrong. Oliver gets the inbound pass, gets it back out to Pearson. Pearson gives it to Johnson. Johnson moving around, bounce pass into Castillo. Castillo moves in towards the paint, backs off. Johnson with the ball now, moves on in, 5 seconds on the shot clock, puts his shot up, and he puts it in for a long two. And it's a 10-point game, 63-53. A little over 5 minutes to go in regulation. Still plenty of time for the Pacers to mount the comeback. 10 points is not insurmountable by any means. Lander going to eat up as much time as they can here. Moore puts his shot up, no good. Rebound picked up by Pearson. Pacers coming back quickly the other way. Back for Oliver, a little behind him, but he corrals it. Under for Black. Black loses the ball, and it's stolen by the Bearcats. Hurry-up offense failed in that moment there. Castillo puts up a block and denied by Oliver, who nearly crashed into the grounded Castillo. But no harm, no foul, just a little sweat on the floor, which will get mopped up quickly. And we're getting a timeout here. 30-second timeout on the floor for Lander. So with 4:37 to go, it is a 10-point game. Lander leading 63-53. We'll be back in just a few seconds. And we get right back to it. Lander up by 10 here in the second and final half. Patterson inbounds it, back under the basket, poked away, and it's going to be USC Aiken ball as Armstrong couldn't hold on to it. Pacers getting a good turnover here. Trying to spark the comeback. Castillo gives it to Black. Black looking around, has his pocket picked. The ball is rolling around free. Lander with it now, and it is held by Landers Moorer as now Lander sets up the attack. Lapse in attention proves fatal for the Pacers in that instance. Lander driving on in. Putting it up is Patterson, and he's able to put it up through traffic for 2 more points. 12-point lead for the Bearcats. Black trying to get into the paint. Back on out. Oliver passes it over to Patterson. Patterson moves in for 2. Shot up in the air. No good. Rebound is out of bounds. And it will be Bearcat basketball. And just like that, we have a full media timeout on the floor. 65-53 is your score. And we're going to take another break and be right back in just a moment. And back to the action we go. Lander with the ball fresh out of the media timeout. And so with a little bit over 3.5 to go, Lander bringing it up slowly. Patterson just eating time now, standing around half court. Now he'll bring it on in towards the paint. Pass gets deflected and stolen by the Pacers. Pearson brings it up, and Pearson tries to dunk it. Can't get a good angle on it, and the rebound scooped up by Moorer. Patterson again takes his time. Does a little pass on over for Berrien. Back to Patterson, who gives it right back to Berrien. Berrien tries to charge on in. A couple seconds on the shot clock, and the ball ends up out of bounds. And it will be USC Aiken basketball. Shot clock violation, the call. But a lot of time was eaten up on that possession as there's only 2:39 to go in regulation. Pearson moving up quickly, passes it back on out. Long three-point try is good by Castillo. And a timeout called on the play. It is a 9-point game now, 65-56 your score. And it is going to be a 60-second timeout. Instead of going to the break, let's look at a few more numbers. This time we'll look at the individual leaders for both squads now, as I'm sure we have some updates. Leading the way for Lander in points is the dyad of Patterson and Moorer, both of which have 16 points on the day. And both of them are shooting 7 and 11 from the field at 63.6% each. On the defensive side of things, Moorer leads the squad with 8 rebounds, 6 of those defensive, 2 of those offensive rebounds. And he also has 6 steals and 4 blocks. He is having a heck of a game today for Lander. On the USC Aiken side of things, the leading scorer for the Pacers is going to be number 1, Black. He has 14 points on the day, followed up by Castillo with 11. On the defensive side of things, Black also leads the squad with 3 steals and a total of 5 rebounds, 4 of those defensive. The rebound leaders are actually split between 3. Black, Castillo, and Johnson all have 5 rebounds on the day. Play resumes. Lander with the ball. The Pacers trying to get the press going here. Oliver with a lot of pressure being applied. Almost stolen away by Johnson. Broken up, and now Oliver comes up with it. He passes it on up. Coming down is Pearson, who puts the shot up and puts it in for 2. Clock continues to wind. And just as I say that, the clock is stopped on the whistle from the officials. 2:06 to go in regulation. A timeout from Lander. It's 65-58. Lander has been dominating here in this second half, but the Pacers seem to have a little bit of a spark suddenly here in the waning moments of the half. Well, in order to have a comeback, you need to be trailing first, and that's what position USC Aiken is in right now. And if you want to have a last-second comeback, you got to wait till the last second to make that comeback. And with 2:06, I think that we are approaching that territory. So Lander will inbound the ball to start. Brought back up quickly, and a foul will be called. Looks like Johnson's going to get tabbed with the foul. A little bit of a trip here and there, and that's enough for a whistle. Well, Patterson will head up to the line. Patterson 2 for 2 on the free throws today. And make that 3 for 3 as he sinks the first one. And he remains at 100% as he makes both free throws. 67-58 your score. Still only a single-digit lead for Lander. Basically with time to come back, just under 2 to go. Pearson trying to thread his way through the defense. Can't do it. Looking for some help. Instead, he's going to go for 3. No good, just off the edge of the rim. Lander picks it up on the rebound with Armstrong. Out in the corner, Oliver gets the pressure off. Pearson steals it away, coming on in towards the basket and putting it up and in off the glass for 2. Now 67-60, never say never. Pacers trying to come back. Lander bringing it up the other way, however. Berrien passes it out to the corner where Armstrong waits for it. Into the paint, under the basket, and off the glass as picked up by Black. Castillo with it the other way. Passes up for Pearson. Pearson looking for three. No, he's going to try for it on the corner. Off the rim. Rebound, tipped around, and picked up by Johnson. Johnson gets it back. Here's another try for Pearson. And this time Pearson puts it down for three. The Pacers are within four with less than 1 minute to play. Lander working with it. Pass down back out to Armstrong. Armstrong's going to try to eat some time, and there's going to be the foul called on Tyler Johnson. A little bit of too much time there, I think, trying to get to that foul. 43 and a half to go in the game. Patterson at the line for one and a bonus. It is a 4-point lead. Patterson's first shot is good, 68-53, or 68-63. And Patterson remains perfect on the tries from the stripe, 69-63. Pacers bring it up quickly. Just under 40 to go. Passed into the paint, shot from Black, no good. Rebound picked up by Lander, and another foul called. Pacers' 9th foul on the day. Travian Black will get called for the foul. Lander back to the charity stripe.
At the charity stripe, a return visit for Jermaine Patterson.
And Patterson returning to the line. Not the guy you want to have to foul to try to keep this one within reach, but that's all the Pacers have had to work with in the waning seconds. And Patterson misses his first free throw of the day. A little break for USC Aiken. Canty back out there for USC Aiken, taking the place of Black. And now Patterson able to put down his second free throw. Back up the other way for USC Aiken. Pearson looking for three, and he puts it in for three off the backboard and in. 24.7 seconds to go. There's the foul from Canty.
Fouls on the Pacers. Canty, that's his first.
And I believe MJ Armstrong will head to the line for a couple of free throws. His first trip to the charity stripe today. And his first shot is good, 71-66. And both free throws are good. 72-66. Pacers bring it up quickly on the hands of Pearson. Back to Castillo. Tries for a long three. No good. Rebound is broken up. And a foul is called before anybody can get possession of it.
Number 24, Tyler Johnson.
Tyler Johnson called for the foul. 15.2 seconds to go in the game. And this one almost out of reach for USC Aiken as it's 72-66 pending the ensuing free throws. First one is good from Spivry. And his second try is no good. 10 seconds to go in the game. A long shot from Pearson, no good. Rebound is on the ground and picked up by Lander. And with only a few seconds left, they're just going to let the clock wind down. That will do it here from the Convocation Center. Pacers drop their first game of the season to fall to 0-1. Lander evens their record up at 1-1 on the young season.
Look forward to Saturday's games. Check PacersSports.com for all the details.
So before we go ahead and give you the preview for the next game, we'll go ahead and just give you some of the final stats once they have been updated. Actually, instead of that, we'll go ahead and tell you when the next game is. The Pacers return to action. According to PacersSports.com, they return to action on January 6th. They'll be playing Young Harris. On January 6th, Wednesday, the time for that game is to be determined. That I am sure the women's basketball team is playing this next Saturday, a 3:30 start to that game, if I'm not mistaken. Just want to make sure I'm not giving you bad information. Sometimes that happens. Well, that game has not been posted yet, but I do know that it will be played this weekend. We will have a matchup here at the Convocation Center, so be sure to stick around and keep an eye on PacerSports.com and all of our social media sites to get the live stream for that game. And the final stats are in. Final score 73-66. Lander outshooting the Pacers 29-26 from the field, with a 54.7 field goal percentage for the Bearcats, 36.1 for the Pacers. At the three-point line, the Pacers outshot the Bearcats 9 of 27 to Lander's 2 of 13. Lander 15.4 from the three, Pacers 33.3. And at the charity stripe, Lander with 13 of 18 made to the Pacers 5 of 9. And the Bearcats outboarding the Pacers with 40 rebounds to USC Aiken's 33. And the defensive rebounds, really a big tell right there. 33 defensive rebounds for Lander, 19 for the Pacers. Go ahead and look at the turnovers, because that was a huge factor in the game. 20 turnovers for Lander, 12 for the Pacers. But the points off of turnovers is much more even. 16 points for Lander, 20 for the Pacers. And looking at the leaders for today's game, the leading scorer for the Lander Bearcats was Patterson. He scored 21 points on the day, followed by Moorer, who scored 16. And in the three spot with 13 points is Berrien. On the USC Aiken side of things, the leading scorer was Pearson. Pearson managing to get a few points right at the end there to secure 19 points on the evening, followed by Black with 14 points, and with 11 points on the day, Castillo rounds out the top three scorers. But until this next time, which will be Saturday, again, 3:30, look forward to seeing you then. But until then, I'm Marcus Johnson. Thank you, and have a good one.